Okay, we are back again and we're live. So yeah, let's talk about the game. Let's talk about what happened. Uh, Definitely an interesting game. I think we're getting to see more of what Real Madrid are gonna be like in the season. It's safe to say. And let's start with the lineup that Zidane started with. So we're gonna do this live here in English, and in half an hour we're gonna do it in Spanish. Okay, just in case. So for Pato Crack, Simran Singh says, "I want Ashley." Well, Ashley's not here; she's on a holiday, so you have me. I hope that's good. I think what was important is to see that for the second game, Zidane didn't make the changes right after the first half. Like 2 days ago against PSG, we saw 11 changes, 11 substitutions in the second half. So now he's given more and more to the starting lineup. Of course, we're missing Kroos, we're missing Bale and Cristiano and Pepe. James, Modric, and Sergio Ramos are back, but they're not ready to play. So this would be the starting lineup of the players we have now. So it was interesting to see how he gave them 15 minutes more this time, and the subs came in the minute 60. So let's see what people are saying. Daniel Mendez will be doing the Spanish live in half an hour. Our B team destroys Chelsea's first team easily. Yeah, I think it's not that fair to say that what we had in the first half was our B team, because it's fair to say that most of these players are going to be starting a lot of games this season. All right, so let's say maybe not Casilla, but Carvajal starter, Varane and Nacho. We're counting, of course, on Pepe and Ramos, but to be honest here, how many games are Pepe and Ramos going to start? With injuries and yellow card accumulation or red cards. So it's very likely that Varane and Nacho will start some games during the season. Marcelo is a starter. Casemiro is a starter. Kovacic, I think he's regaining that position. I'm really happy about Kovacic. I really like him. It's a personal weakness of mine with this guy. I think he has something special. But again, I think Kovacic will be starting a lot of games this season too. Maybe not Asensio, definitely Lucas Vazquez. Maybe not Mariano, and definitely Morata. If nothing weird happens in what's left of the summer transfer. So let's see what people say. Do you have Instagram? Yeah, we do have Instagram. I don't have a personal Instagram account. I just don't get the point. Says Karim Karas, our good friend Karim Karas, who we met in Manchester outside of the Etihad Stadium. It was a really nice experience to meet this guy. So he says, I just don't get the point of playing the whole Castilla for half an hour. That's a first team preseason, not Castilla 1. Okay, this is a good point. And my idea here, what I think is happening is, really, the players with more experience, they know that these games are just, to get in shape, to get in the tone. And they don't need to play 90 minutes, because they know, like, the weight of the battles that's going to be coming after. So they can't be stretching, themselves too thin from the start. So for some players, like for Carvajal today, for example, I think two things. It's good to give Carvajal some rest, kind of roll him for 45 minutes, give him that rhythm, that pace. But also it showed that there's going to be competition in that right-back position between Danilo and Carvajal. Definitely, I think people are more happy with Carvajal. I like Carvajal more, but I think Danilo will be a very good sub. And this season was on and off, to be honest. But I think it will be a good season for Danilo, and I think that was a good thing. That's a good thing that, we can't have the starting lineup for 90 minutes because you're putting too much effort into them as well. We have to play Bayern Munich in 4 days, and 5 days after that, competition starts for real. Sorry, competition starts for real. So we're playing Sevilla for the first title. So we don't want to risk any players getting injured, way too early in the season. Says, do you think Marcos Llorente is a good backup for Casemiro? Reminds me of a young Xavi Alonso. I think he would, or he will be in the future, but not now. This is another thing we saw. In the second half, when basically our C team was on the pitch, playing against Chelsea's first team, Chelsea played a lot better. They scored those 2 goals in the end, kind of mistakes by the defense, well taken, advantage of by Eden Hazard. But still, I think we saw that some players, they show some good signs that they will be really good players in the future, but not now. I don't think they're ready to face a world-class team like Chelsea. This is not, again, like Real Madrid, this is not the best version of Chelsea yet. But I'm pretty confident that Conte is going to get a lot out of these players. So I think we saw that difference in the second half. When are Bale, Pepe, Kroos, and Ronaldo back in training? Good question, Karim. These guys are coming back tomorrow and probably back in training for the sessions before Bayern Munich. I don't think they will play. Definitely Cristiano will not play. Maybe Kroos will see some. I don't think. I think the players that are going to get the first minutes against Bayern Munich are the players that were back in training a couple days ago. James, Modric, and Sergio Ramos. And probably, Kroos, Pepe, and Bale will see their first action against Sevilla in Norway on the 9th. So let's say, en Español, people say in Español, don't worry, we'll be doing this in 20 minutes. Here on YouTube too, I'll be doing it in Spanish, but we have to attend to our lovely English-speaking subscribers. So let's talk a little bit about the game. Some of the things I wrote. I'll comment and you'll tell me what you think. I think in the first we kind of started, a bit like the first game, maybe out of focus a little. In that 3 minutes in the game, there was this defenders losing their mark very quickly, well reacted by Kiko, but Chelsea generated this clear chance 3 minutes into the game. After that, I think Real Madrid started, getting the gist of the game. Definitely that Marcelo goal didn't change the first half because it was already being changed by how better Real Madrid were being. But a great goal by Marcelo. It's really, I'm really happy to see that the first 3 goals of the season have been scored by this guy, which I know you all love. I love this guy. It's really happy. He scored that first goal, a screamer with the right foot. At the end in the replay, you could see that it hit one of the defenders before going in. And then the second goal, I really loved the gesture he had. That face he goes like, I'm too good. And going back to what Karim was saying, we don't really need to give these guys 90 minutes. With 45 is enough. I think definitely for Marcelo, even half an hour just to get himself in the rhythm. He knows how hard this season is going to be, and he doesn't need to be, making like extra efforts in this first 2 games. What else? Another good news. I don't know what you thought about this. Shout out for Fansbeers World. Shout out for you, my friend. Now, interesting thing for me was seeing Casemiro taking a set piece. That was interesting. I know that's going to spark a debate during the season. It already sparked. That's our friend Let's again, logging him back in. How are you, man? Marcelo needs backup. We have Coentrao. To me, it sounds like a reasonable move. But we brought Coentrao back, and he's going to be injured until October. So we'll see. But definitely, going back to Casemiro taking that set piece, I really liked it because it shows us, number one, that there's going to be a debate sparked in the set pieces. With Cristiano, it's like how effective he is, like how many set pieces he has to take to score goals, and especially having Bale and what Bale did in the Euros, scoring 2 goals, like the first 2 set pieces he put them in, and of course James Rodriguez, even Toni Kroos, even Luka Modric, and now even Casemiro is having, let's say, the courage to take a set piece, which he did very well, which a great reaction by Begovic. So I like that. Let's say we have the best squad in the world, and we can improve it if we get another quality central defensive midfielder like William Carvalho. I don't know if I agree with you. Like William Carvalho is not one of my favorites. Like we need a strong central defensive midfielder, but like that has some maybe a bit more quality than William Carvalho on the ball. Like off the ball, he's very strong, but on the ball, I think he might, end up messing up some of our counter-attack chances. But yeah, I mean, it's a good chance. We'll see what happens when the summer transfer market is over. Couple defenders. This is also interesting because we have to see what happens with Nacho. I think central defenders like center backs 4 is a reasonable amount. I mean, you can't have more than 4. And so far we have Pepe, Sergio Ramos, Varane, and Nacho. If Nacho ends up going to Roma, which is let's say an apparent intention of the club, then we'll need to get another one. El Benja FIFA says, no entiendo nada. We'll do it in Spanish in 15 minutes. Don't worry. En español en 15 minutos on midfield. What do you think about Real being interested in Matic? After seeing what I saw today, to be honest with you, I think we already have too many people on the midfield. And, if we are going to get rid of some, that means the others will play. But I don't think Matic will have a space here in this squad. We already have too many people there. People who can do it well. Now, good news is Asensio, definitely, and Mariano. I think this after the first game, we were saying it with Ashley in our review after. We were saying that we would have liked to see Asensio or maybe Mariano, maybe Llorente playing with, some of the players from the first team and see how they gel with them. And I think today Zidane did that. I think giving Mariano and Asensio the chance of starting the game and playing the first hour showed that, Mariano is a diamond, still to polish. But we have a striker there in the future. And Asensio is already a reality. So, I wouldn't go crazy in going in the market and buying more players. But still, giving Asensio those minutes. Because, let's be honest here. Central midfielders, we have Casemiro, who played better today. We have Kovacic, who I like a lot. A little picture here of Mateo Kovacic kind of owning Lionel Messi. And, there's Isco, there's James, there's Modric, there's Kroos. There's so many players that we have that we don't need to go crazy for the players that we don't have. Let's see. What do you think about Yanez at Chelsea last goal? Well, I think, a little bit of doubt is normal for a keeper this young, having Eden Hazard in front of him. He could have done, I think, this is one of the things I love about Keylor Navas. He never doubts. If you're a goalkeeper and you decided to go out for that ball, even if you're going to get there late, go for that ball. If that was your first decision, you have to go with your gut. And I think that's what Yanez missed in that play. He decided to go, then he changed his mind, then he changed his mind again. And, the fourth time he changed his mind, it was already too late. Says, saludos desde Mexico. Okay, what do you think about Jesse to Liverpool? Will be such a good transfer for him, especially he'll be guaranteed to start. To be honest with you, I don't know if he would be guaranteed to start in Liverpool. Liverpool are thinking about Joao Mario. They only have a lot of players. They have Sturridge and Origi. And I don't think it will be a guarantee, but it will definitely be maybe more chances if he can, put up the right fight for the position. I think it's a good idea. To be honest with you, and I'll say it again, his first games is just a thing of feelings, but Morata, I don't, Morata doesn't convince me. I don't buy Morata. I don't buy the whole Morata hype. And I'd be more sad to see Jesse go than to see Morata go. I'm being completely honest here. Says Jesse wouldn't get into Liverpool, probably not. He would. Navas is the best. I agree with you. Somebody's hungry. Me, center back. Miguel Angel will be doing it in Spanish in 15 minutes. Don't worry. What do you think to Jesse to PSG? Well, Unai Emery, the coach, came out saying, okay, Jesse is an option, like a lot of options. So there's nothing really concrete there. Sissoko to Madrid as Casemiro backup. What do you think, Vitaly? We've talked about this. We talked about this in the last. To be honest with you, I'm not really interested in a player that he comes from Newcastle. They got relegated this year. The season was not that good. I think when Euros come, we all fall victims of this, 2 or 3 great games by one player, and suddenly all this hype. I think Sissoko maybe, the train may have passed for him for Real Madrid. He's already 26. He's, let's say, in the peak of his career. But still, it's a player that has a lot of good things, but lacks some things that you need to play at Real Madrid, especially, abilities on the, fine abilities on the ball, being able to give back like a 1-2, playing at first touch. I don't know. I'm not really into the whole Sissoko hype. What do you think about Alaba? Sissoko, they tell us in Espanol in 10 minutes, Buffon or De Gea? Kevin, our good friend Kevin, ASNS, all Buffon. For me, Buffon is the best keeper I have seen. At one point, Iker and Buffon was like the fight, like Federer and Nadal, Iker and Buffon. But, time has shown that, Iker had a lot, like a sooner low, and Buffon is still up there. So I think for me, very honestly, the best keeper I've seen is Buffon. If I had to compare, Casillas' best game against Buffon's best game, then I don't know. But in a career, I would go for Buffon. So Buffon and De Gea, Buffon for sure. Do you think Odegaard will be a future Galactico? That's a good question. Apparently, there's been a little bit of a controversy because Odegaard was brought into this preseason tour, kind of forced by the president. Kind of the president forcing Zinedine to play this very young player. He's the youngest of them all. Because of some contract things. I don't know. I think Odegaard has all the potential necessary to be a future Galactico, but in some time. I don't think we're going to see that anytime soon in the next 2 or 3 years. Why don't you want the backup for Casemiro? If he gets injured, our back four will keep getting exposed. Also, we don't have a quality center. Okay, no. I'm not saying I don't want a backup for Casemiro. We need a backup for Casemiro. Now, the fact that all of the players that we have now cannot back up Casemiro, I think that applies for certain games. For difficult games, maybe when you play a little bit more defensive, maybe against Barcelona, maybe against a Bayern Munich. But I think in a lot of games during the season, Casemiro's role can be played. Maybe by Kroos, maybe by Kovacic, or maybe changing a different system if Casemiro is not available. We talked about Kanté. I would have liked to see Kanté. Sissoko, I'm not crazy about. Berratti, I would love. They're a bit different, but they have the same good qualities of positioning themselves in the right place to nick that ball. So don't get us wrong. Like we need a sub for Casemiro. I was just saying that Sissoko might not be the right choice. What is the news on that possible transfer ban? I think it's going to happen. There's nothing definite yet, but apparently it will happen. It will take place for Real Madrid and apparently for Atletico as well. Bayern will never sell him. I guess you're talking about Alaba. Enzo Zidane. I think Enzo Zidane has a problem. And Enzo Zidane's problem is carrying that burden of being Zidane's son, especially when Zidane is managing the team now. It's, he has to be very lucky and so smart and hardworking to kind of wash that off. And as long as he doesn't, wash that off, like people are going to be expecting a lot more just because of his last name. I don't think he's a bad player. He has a lot of potential. But if his name was Juan Perez, we wouldn't even be questioning this. I think is that. Says Andre Davis, Danilo isn't that bad. I completely agree with you. I think Danilo is not bad at all. Vitaly, would you sell Morata to get Aubameyang? My personal opinion here, I know some of the Galacticos don't feel the same way. I know Iñaki feels the same way and Ashley feels the same way. I would sell Morata to buy a backpack, man. I will sell Morata to buy Aubameyang. I would sell Morata to buy Lewandowski. I would sell Morata to buy you, man. I don't know. I've never seen you play, but I'm not a fan of Morata, and I think people will kill me for saying like, oh, how can you judge on these games? But man, Morata lacks a lot of things. He has some good things, but the things he lacks, I think, are indispensable to be a Real Madrid striker. He's good, anchoring those center backs to let other people run along, maybe playing with his back to the goal and kind of holding those plays. But pretty much that's all he has. I don't think he's good with the ball on his feet. I don't think he has a good finishing. He's not that quick. I don't know, man. I don't think Morata is anything special. Ibrahim, okay. Can I have a shout out? Of course you can have a shout out, my friend. A shout out for Ibrahim, okay. Raymond Sarfo, do you believe Real can win the league? Man, I gotta be honest with you. If I didn't believe Real Madrid couldn't win the league, I wouldn't be doing this job. So yeah, Madrid can't buy trends. James, Morata, Odegaard. I don't think Morata is a trend, to be honest with you. I don't think James is a trend. Definitely the way he exploded in the World Cup, made him a trend, but he's not a trend, man. Like, James is an amazing player with some talent and some quality that very few other players have. His second season, granted, was not great, but his first season was amazing. I don't think you were saying this a year ago. After James came in his first season, it looked like, okay, man, like, wow, like we hit the jackpot. So I'm really looking forward to see what James can give in the third season. I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be very positive. And if it's a bad season, like as bad as this one or worse, then we'll talk about selling James at James was maybe, not as good as everybody made him out to be, but I don't think James is a trend. Odegaard was not a trend. Odegaard was a contract thing with some Norway people. They bought him when he was 15. So, I don't know. Why Danilo is so bad? Carvajal is such a more stable right back. Do you think Danilo will get better? I think Danilo lacks a little bit of focus on defense, but he has all the qualities to be a great right back. I don't think Danilo is that bad, to be honest with you. I think physically he's a machine. He can run. We saw this season he can also score. He can cross the ball, and he makes the effort. If the whole team gets into or let's say learn the automatisms in defense, I think we'll see a very, very efficient and effective Danilo. We should get Roberto Pereira, a workhorse. I like Roberto Pereira, but I don't see that happening. Your MVP of today, I think my MVP of today was Marcelo, definitely. Maybe in the second half, probably Cuadrado. I loved how Cuadrado, look out for this Chelsea team. I really like it. But my MVP was Marcelo and Kovacic. Not really making anything spectacular, but just like the regularity. Like we saw Kovacic playing as Modric today. When we recovered the ball, we saw Casemiro in front of Kovacic. Kovacic was between the center backs, starting that play. And I really like that. Hi from Georgia, Sakari Mori. Hi from Marcelo is a left winger. Yeah, he's a left winger. He can be an MVP being a left winger, can he? Are we going to see changes in the lineup, or is it going to be the same 11 as last season? That's a good question. I think we're not going to see changes up top. I think we're going to see Bale, Cristiano, and Benzema. But I don't know if Zidane is that set on playing with Kroos, Modric, and Casemiro. I think Casemiro will not start that many games this year. I don't know. I think it will depend on the game, and if Zidane gets a defensive system that makes him feel comfortable, we might not need Casemiro that much, and we can have maybe Kovacic or maybe even Kroos playing that role, so we can have Modric and James. And maybe in some moments, because let's face it, we're not gonna have. I'm gonna go on a limb here, and I'm gonna say the amount of games this season that we're gonna count on Benzema, Bale, and Cristiano, being it for injuries or yellow cards or whatever, is not going to be more than 50% of the games. So in more than 50% of the games this season, we're going to have to be doing magic. Zidane is going to have to be doing magic, maybe playing 2 strikers and having 4 midfielders. Like Lucas Vazquez is going to see a lot. I think is going to see a lot of minutes. Alaba should replace Marcelo. I don't agree with that. Maybe in the future, but not yet. I think Marcelo has a couple of years in him, and I don't think Alaba could give us what Marcelo gives us. And I think a lot of Madridistas will agree with me. Let's say, do you think, what player do you think Real Madrid needs this season? Well, talking about that, I think we need what we already have. Maybe a striker and maybe another central defensive midfielder, but that's it. Do you think CR7 will win the Ballon d'Or this year? Yeah, I do. I do think he will. He won the Champions League. He was not, key in the last 2 games, but he was key during the whole. I guess he was the top striker of the competition. He won the Euro Cup. That's a big achievement. Becoming the all-time top scorer of the Euro Cup. So I think he's made enough merits to win the Ballon d'Or. Alaba is better than Marcelo. Well, that's a matter of opinion. Don't lie. He says that the Pharaoh. I don't think he is. You think he is? We'll have to agree to disagree. Pogba is overrated. Completely agree with you. I don't think he's overrated. He's a great player. But if we're rating him based on the price that, Mino Raiola and Juventus are asking for him, yeah, I don't think, besides Messi and Cristiano, no player is worth 110 million euro. But anyway, I like Berratti. I would love to see Berratti, Pharaoh. We agree there. You see, we agree there. Says Ed is gay. I'm not gay. Not at all. If I would, I would tell. If I were, I would tell you. There's no problem. Do you think CR7 should win the Ballon d'Or? Yeah, I think he will already say. So let's start closing this. To summarize, Galacticos, nice game by Real Madrid. Very nice game by Real Madrid. 3-2 over Chelsea with those 2 goals coming in the end. And yeah, we're gonna start saying goodbye. Thank you very much for being there. We hope you enjoy it. And keep tuning in for our live streams on YouTube. We'll probably have one on Monday. We'll let you know. We'll be posting our things on Twitter and on Facebook to let you know when it will be. Says, where's my wife Ashley? She went out on holiday. Shout out for Saad Khalifa. Shout out time. Shout out time. A minute for shout out for Saad Khalifa. Thank you for being there. The Hobo 16551. Zachary Morin, the Pharaoh. Bye, well done. Thank you very much. Official Niche. You like live streams? We like you. Official Niche, one of the Galacticos. Zlatan Bolt. You're awesome. Vitaly, thank you very much, man. You're awesome too. Joseph Moya, please answer my question. What's your question? Do you think we've got the squad? Yeah, we've got. What's your Instagram? I don't have a personal Instagram, but you should follow us on Real Galacticos. Bye, Vitaly. Have a great day. Giorgio, thank you very much. Anyway, guys, it's been a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Have a great time. And we'll probably see you on a live stream on Monday. So have a good weekend. Enjoy. And a la Madrid.